Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 269. Today we have Matt Gillis, who has spent over 20 years plus of mobile, media and technology expertise with a history of building and operating companies from startup to scaled global marketing leader, delivering $1 billion plus in annual revenue. Hello, Matt.
Patience, how are you? I'm glad to be here on episode 269. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Wow, thank you so much, and thank you for coming. I know the clan here is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan about your background and what you did before you started your online businesses?
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So my name is Matt Gillis. I'm the CEO of a company called Clean.io. We're a cybersecurity company that protects digital engagements online. I've been, I would say, in the early parts of my career, I worked at mobile phone companies. So I've been a mobile guy my entire career, constantly doing, either big mobile operator jobs. And then in the last, I would say 20 years or so, I've been on the bleeding edge of all of the things that you do on your mobile phone except talk on it. So been in the early days of digital content on mobile phones, websites on mobile phones, downloadable content like ringtones and video on demand and playing games, and then, monetizing, digital content. So delivering ads. And now I get to have the honor of leading a company that helps protect websites and apps from the harmful execution of malicious JavaScript that ruins the user experience and ruins monetization. So I've kind of come full circle after having spent the last 20 years in the digital media ecosystem. Now I'm protecting the digital media ecosystem.
Wow, what a journey, Matt! Wow.
It's been fun. It's been fun, and I'm only 24 years old. I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's great! What achievement! Remember, it's how you feel. It's not about age. 24-year-old can feel that he's 90.
Patience, I am young at heart, I guess they would say.
That's good. What is the most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have?
Oh, wow. The most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have. Maybe invincibility. I think I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs who have had success. And obviously, being successful as an entrepreneur is very difficult. Most startups fail. I've seen entrepreneurs who have had success who think that it was easy, or they think that it's easily reproducible, and that every single time they touch something, it's going to turn to gold. And so I think that feeling of invincibility is, I think is a dangerous thing. At the same time, I think that is also one of the things that you need to have as an entrepreneur, because you have to feel that you can go out and do the impossible, because the odds of success are so low. You have to somewhat live in that belief that you absolutely can do anything that you set your mind to. So it's kind of, I would say, managing that balance between invincibility and feeling like you can go and accomplish anything that you set your mind to.
Why do you do what you do?
Oh, wow. So many reasons. I think the reason I do what I do, one, I wake up every day. I mean, I love the work that we do. I think we're doing work for good of the ecosystem. I love building businesses. I love building teams. I think one of the things I'm most proud of is the team that we've built where I am. So I wake up every day and I love what I do and I love who I do it with. And that to me is the most important thing. I think there's a lot of people who focus on things like money or ego and that sort of thing. And for me, it's really about, finding that thing that I wake up and kick my heels and I can't wait to go and do it with a crew of people that, you're going to spend a lot of time with the people that you work with. And so you better like them. It doesn't mean that you don't fight, but you better enjoy those people, because you're going to spend more time with them than you probably do with your family.
As you said, let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful in your new venture?
I think you're successful in your new venture when your clients tell you. I think when your clients tell you by doing so with their dollars, I think that's when you know that you have found success. I think in our business, this business has been built over the last 3 years. There's a thing in being an entrepreneur that is called product market fit, and that to me means that when you found that real sweet spot where you've built product that people truly value, and they value it so much they're willing to pay for it, or there's a business model that allows you to monetize the fruits of your effort. And so often that's one of the most difficult things to achieve, especially if you're building something in a brand new vertical. And so I think for us, when we started having success, we knew that customers were coming to us and asking for our product. And then I think the other flip side of that is when the customers that you do have are willing to tell their friends about your product. We grew through word of mouth. And that to me is something that shows that you've got a successful product and a successful business when you've got virality and folks telling two friends and them telling two friends. So that to me would be the key indicator of success.
Over 20 years plus, you've been business building and upscaling to a global. But can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
I think, it's kind of like if you went into a store and said, can anyone buy that shirt? Yes, everyone can buy it, but only a few actually really look good in it. So I think, to comment on what you're saying is anybody could be an entrepreneur. I just don't think it's suited for everyone. You have to be fearless. You have to be, not afraid to fail, because obviously the odds are against you. In being an entrepreneur, you have to be able to deal with the emotional highs and lows. Obviously winning, and if you're betting on yourself as an entrepreneur, the highs are epically high. When things don't go well, which, is often the case, the lows are really low. So I don't think it's meant for everyone. But I will say that, once you take that jump, if it's meant for you, you'll probably never go back to that typical, 9-to-5 job at a big company. It will be really hard to do that because, I think it's kind of like, once you have a taste, it's really hard to go back.
What advice would you give to someone who's starting to build an online business today, as this pandemic is going on right now?
The advice that I would give to someone who's looking to build a business, I would say one of the secrets of our success in our online journey has been being super focused. As a startup, and as an entrepreneur, if you came from a big company, you're used to a lot of resources. You're used to a lot of people. You're used to a lot of capital. When you go to be an entrepreneur, obviously, you need to be scrappy and you need to figure things out very fast because time is money. And I think one of the things that this team at Clean.io did that was a big reason for our success was that we focused tremendously. There's a picture that is on my daughter's wall, and it says, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And I think that's the biggest advice I would give, which is, focus on very few things, do them very well. You solve that, then there'll be more problems for you to go and solve, but don't try and solve everything all at once.
Who's Clean.io and what do you do?
So as I said, when we let in, we're a digital engagement security platform. What does that mean? I would assume you're going to ask. So, more than ever, consumers are online. They're, consuming content. They're conducting business. They're getting entertained. They're shopping. With the pandemic, I think folks will say that, online shopping has accelerated, what would have happened in the next 5 years, and it's accelerated in the last 8 months. And so for companies whose livelihood is online, whether you make money through advertisements or whether you make money selling things, it's really imperative that you protect those engagements with your customers. And so what we do is we give enterprises the tools that they need to protect those user experiences, which in turn protects their revenue and their reputation. And so Clean.io first got started. If you're familiar, patients, if you're scrolling on your phone and you're looking at a website and all of a sudden it redirects you to a page that says, congratulations, you won an Amazon gift card. That's called malvertising. And so we went out and solved that problem, protecting publishers and platforms from the harms of malvertising. And now we're taking, that kind of approach to other new ecosystems. And the next one for us is e-commerce. And generally speaking, in these ecosystems, the source of these malicious activities is malicious or untrusted JavaScript that's executing on websites. So that's what we do. We give tools to protect websites, e-commerce sites, you name it. Anybody online, we give you the tools to protect your revenue, your reputation, and your user experience.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
It's way more difficult than it looks. As you know, building a business is hard. It doesn't matter if you are, if you own a convenience store, or if you own a pool company, or if you own a, cybersecurity company. Building any business is really hard. Hiring is very hard. Finding the right people and the right cultural fit is really hard. And as I've said, the chips are stacked against you for success. I think it's generally a huge challenge. And if you're up for that challenge, there's nothing more rewarding than building a business.
In your businesses, do you have a coach yourself, a mentor?
It's funny you ask, every step along the way in my personal career journey, I have been so fortunate to have mentors, quite frankly, at every step of the way, all the way from my first boss at a big company who took a risk on me and he gave me, more responsibility and, quite frankly, probably asked me to do things that I did not have, skills for, but I learned them on the job, and he was willing to teach me and, watch me probably stumble onto my face a few times. But yeah, it's those mentors that really give you that opportunity to go and take those risks and learn and, build that muscle memory so that, at every step of the way, when you get to where I am at 48 years old, I now have, the book smarts and the street smarts to be able to go and run a company the way I am doing it.
What is the most valuable thing your mentors or your coaches has told you?
The most valuable thing that my very first mentor instilled in me was to focus on two things, to focus on relationships. So really invest in relationships, build those, deep ties with people that you will have throughout your career. And then the second piece was focus on your reputation. I think his words to me, was, if you do a good deal is a fair deal. And when both people actually feel that it's fair, you both win. And so I've always kind of, strived to deliver on relationships and my reputation, because I think that's kind of what's carried me through here to where I am now. And I always tell people, don't ever go out and screw anybody, because, you can't control what they're going to say about you. So I would say always take the high road and do the right thing.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
I don't know. I mean, listen, I think the most valuable thing that we all have is time, and so time is an investment. So, I give my time to people. I give my time to organizations. I think that's the most valuable thing that I can contribute. Obviously, I think a lot of people put a high value on money. I personally put a very low value on money. When I seek out an opportunity, it's not, anywhere near the top of the list of reasons why I do things. I've been fortunate where I've made money in my career. But I think, time to me is the most precious asset that we all have.
What is the secrets to creating a profitable online business?
Well, the real simple answer is bring in more money than you actually spend. I don't think there is any true secret. Obviously, you want to build businesses that are scalable, that have a large addressable market that is going to be able to pay for your services. And again, that goes across the whole realm. Whether like I said, whether you're a little store shop owner or you're building a big online business, you want to build businesses that have a large addressable audience, so that if you actually can figure out how to monetize them, that you will somewhat have a very large revenue opportunity. So I think that's probably what I would say.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
My wife. I'm very fortunate that I think I have been afforded the ability to go out and do what I do. And my wife is very good at what she does. And obviously we have 3 children. So I would probably give most credit of my success to her because she has done an incredible job building our home and our family. She's the chief operating officer and CEO of our residence. So I think that really is the secret to my success.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
One thing that no one knows about me, that is a tough one. Because most people, I'm an open book. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. So most people know a lot about me. I'm online and I share a lot on Facebook and other platforms. I'm allergic to dogs, but I have 2 of them and I love them. Maybe that's something that not everybody knows.
How do you cope with that if you're allergic?
Yeah, very carefully, but I love them. And I think, to be honest with you, I think there's an immune response that happens because they probably know how much I love them. And that allows me to cope with it.
What grounds you?
My children. I've got 3 kids. I have a son who's 8 and I have a daughter who is 11 and another one who's 14. And they keep me honest every day and they ground me. And I don't know, there's nothing I think in the world that can keep you more honest than your 3 children. What
are you still doing in the way you work that you just know you have to stop doing?
Worrying, obviously like that seems so simple, but, worrying about the things that you can't control, utilizing all of your energy for positivity, I think is very important. So, I would say, there were countless nights, even during COVID over the last 9 months where we were raising money and that was very difficult. And yet, and I had sleepless nights and I would worry. And guess what? Most of it was outside of my span of control. So it's just wasted energy as far as I'm concerned.
What is the best business book you have ever read?
There's one that I really love. And it's the most basic business book ever. It's written by Ben Horowitz. And it is called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And it's effectively like the CEO's guide to running a startup business. And it every chapter, they're very short chapters. There's a lot of them, but it tackles all of the things that you would ever need to think about, whether it's, how do you fire someone? How do you hire great people? How do you deal with this or deal with that? And so I think it's the what I would say is like the CEO guidebook to basic common sense that reaffirms that you're doing it the right way or gives you the guidance on how to do it the right way.
Tell my client about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
The magic moment when it all went right. I've been very fortunate. So I have so many times. I have so many.
Wow.
It all went right when I met my wife. That's probably like the biggest personal piece for me is that like my whole life trajectory changed when I met her. But I think all along the way I've been fortunate where I've made decent decisions for my career and my journey. This is now the 3rd startup that I've been fortunate to be part of. And I've tried to make highly calculated, risk calculated moves. And I feel like the very first one was when I left the comforts of Verizon Wireless, which is a big global wireless carrier, to go and be a part of a 3-person startup at a video game company. And, that to me is like the first opportunity when it all went right. And we ended up selling that company to a Japanese video game company called Capcom. And, for me, each of the last, steps in my journey, they've all built from that original one. So I would say like that was kind of the first one, but they've all been epic since then too. So I'm fortunate.
Good. Yeah,
I am.
Do you feel like you succeeded or like you are only on the way?
Oh, I think life is a journey and you're constantly building off of your prior successes or failures. I think there's always something new to learn. I have been successful, but I'm nowhere near the end of my journey, I guess you could say. I've been very fortunate.
Tell us more about your business, Clean O, and who's this for and how can we join it?
So you can find out about our business at clean.io. And very easily, if you're an online publisher or platform and you make money from your website through ads, we can help protect you in those engagements. Or if you're an e-commerce merchant and you have challenges with things like promotional codes and digital coupons that are eroding your revenue, we can help you with that as well. So I would say just come on to our website at clean.io and hit contact us. Or if you want to connect with me personally, you can connect with me. If you go to LinkedIn, I'm on there. So I would say just jot me a note on there and would love to help any of you with your online journeys and making them safer for your partners that you work with.
Is this a yearly fee or is this a monthly prescription? What is your payment program?
Yes, our partners pay us. We're a SaaS company, so software as a service, and they pay us a monthly fee for us to protect their end users and their revenue and their reputation.
Thank you for sharing. So, Clan, there will be more from Matt in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website and you're encouraged by Matt's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for a bonus portion of the interview. The Online Success Journey is a wonderful membership community built for people searching for the path to success. We are one big clan and can be part of this community for free. Once you have joined the clan, click on part 2 of Matt's journey or over 250 other journeys that are available and learn how you can find the right path for your own online success. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey, patience and demand.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.